it haven't any way.
Yes, I do. I put that here. Yeah. Thank you, Annabelle, for being my water reminder. Someone different did the writing tonight, but Gadon is going to do the speaking. I don't know, he didn't say who he was. And the title is called New Beginnings. And I thought it was appropriate for the 1990s. It's coming up in a few days. Each day as you return to your physical body, you make a new beginning. Each hour and minute of that day can be a new beginning if you so choose. It is very important to your soul's growth that you release the past, turn loose of all the yesterdays, and live in the now. You have been held captive by your subconscious habit patterns for lo these many centuries. It is time to accept your freedom and be the master. Not just talk about it, but really do it. Most of you have been given tools to accomplish this release of the strongholds your past has upon you, but you must be consistent in using these tools and techniques if you are to free yourself for the important work you are to do in the new age. Each one who can hold their consciousness above the illusions of the physical to a greater degree than they are enmeshed in them is on their way to complete freedom from these lower levels. As you apply what you have been taught, your light shines brighter in a world of dimness and darkness. My beloved ones, it is with great joy that we watch your upward climb. We are always beside you to give you a helping hand, a gentle smile, and sometimes a little nudge. Each time you rise above the darkness into the light of God's love, there is great rejoicing from this side of the veil. Who's going to do the lights for me?
On duty, Patrick.
We don't have to have them turned down, but it's... Let's have a quiet time before we make our contact, and let's realize that this room, this point of time as we think of it, I have to get some more chairs. That's all right, they're sitting back there. Let's bring our full attention to this moment and to this place and live completely in the present while we're here. Let's think of this circle of light as a channel of light that's lifting up to the higher levels. And as we accept this lift in consciousness, let us release all the past, all the things of the day, and all the things that have gone before, and live completely in this place, in this moment, and give it our full life force, give it our full attention, and be here now. Thank you, Father. Good evening, my beloveds. This is Don, coming to you from these realms of love and light. And it is with great joy that we greet you and greet the new ones who are here this evening. It is with great joy that we walk beside you each day, as the writing said. It is our pleasure to accompany you and to be with you while you're going through your sojourn on this physical plane. There is great love between us. Those who come to this place and many others are a family, a spiritual family. And when you realize this and know that we have known each other for eons of time, as you think of it in your thoughts of time, realize that we are very close. We have been many, many things to each other in different lifetimes. And as you open your hearts and your minds, you will be able to see some of this and be able to feel closer and to feel the love. One of the things that the Master has asked me to convey to you, and remember now that Alawa and the Master and many other beings of light are influencing the speaking and the channeling that comes through. But one of the things that he has asked me to do is to ask you to consider saying more of the time to each other, simply, I love you. In the past, you may have been reticent to say this, are fearful that someone may take it wrong. But in this group and in the understanding that you have, you will know that it is correct. And it is good to express this saying, I love you. And when you think about it just a little, when you say I, you are expressing the God Self. I represents the God within you. And so it is the God Self of you saying to the God Self of the other, I love you. I am one with you, and we are together in spirit and in love. Our topic tonight, New Beginnings, is a good subject to move into your new year that you're coming into. You are involved with the concept of time and space, and so we talk to you in these terms because it is very important that you continue to grow, continue to move higher, for the vibrations on this planet are accelerating now. They are getting higher and higher every day. And it is good in this time of the year that you send extra love to yourself and to the whole planet and to the spirit of the holidays. For everyone, most everyone, is more open at this time of year than at any other time. They're more open to receive love. They're more open to allow God's love to come into their countenance, into their consciousness, and to do its beautiful work. And as you go through your days, it doesn't matter if you're rushing around shopping or driving to work, just send love every time you think of it, and send it unlabeled or send it to whatever you want, but do it often through the day. And when you start your day out, start out on a path of love. Use your inner image, your imagination, and see your day as a path that you're walking. And this path is a path of love, lighted with love, and love is all around you. And as you go through your day, you are surrounded with love, and love automatically goes out to each one that you meet. Love is the key to all things, my dear ones. It is the answer, God's love. As you learn to understand and to know the great power that love has, it is the most powerful force in your universe, because your universe is made, everything in your universe is made out of God's love. It is God's love that brought forth your countenance and the universe and everyone and everything in it. And so it is natural for you to use love and to get to the place in consciousness where you are love, when you express nothing but love in your every thought, word, and deed. This is a goal really worth moving into and working towards. It is easier sometimes than other times, I know, for you to express love. But as you grow, as you expand your awareness, you move into a higher consciousness, and you have more power and more strength to remember who you truly are, that you truly are God's, and that you are children of the Creator of this universe, and you are created out of God, and God is love. So as you remember this, as you remember to be the natural thing that you are, and you use this word natural, and it is a good expression. It is natural for you to express love and to remember that you are created out of love. Your body, every cell in it, is love. Every finer body that you manifest through on the other dimensions is made out of love. The whole universe, the whole cosmos, everything that exists in the created universe and the uncreated universe is made from God's love. So as you move in to your next 10 years that will turn your century, many new things will continue to happen. Many things are already happening. The influence you see from this coming century is already upon you as you see the great changes in the world. Be not concerned about any of this, but send extra love, for this is new to so many people that are involved, and they do have to be patient to allow their countries to have the time to bring about those things that they desire in a material way. And when they have the material things that they need and want, then it will be much easier for them to turn to the spiritual understanding. And if you have noticed, the spiritual and the churches are opening up in many countries where they were not open before. This is the end result of much work that has been done from these dimensions. There are many, many that you know not of that work with your planet, that work with everyone on your planet. And if you so desire, you can send extra love into those invisibles, as you would call them, who work with your physical planet from this side of the veil. And this helps them to reach you better and everyone who needs the help on this planet. If you would think for a moment and use your imagination, see the picture of your planet, your globe with the people on it, and the sun rising and setting at all times, and also around your planet, and very closely related to your planet are the other dimensions. And each dimension, as it moves upward in vibration, is a little bit higher, and each dimension has, as it goes upward, gives off more light, spiritual light. And if you can think of this picture in your mind and remember that this is a continuous thing that is going on, a continuous vineyard of work in the Father's vineyard, this work is such a pleasure to us from this side of the veil. Let it be a pleasure for you as you do the things that you do, the little things. And it is with great joy that we see that you have a desire to upgrade this room and replenish it with new paint. And this is an outward manifestation of your inward light that is shining brighter. And you are demanding more from the physical because you are moving higher in consciousness. Shall we pause now and see if you have questions this evening?
I have a question about a previous class that we had.
Yes.
You talked about how important it was in the New Age to open ourselves up to the Father and to the other realms of love and light, and that we needed to discern the difference between what's coming from the physical and what's coming from the other side. How do we get a grasp on that, or start in that direction, or know that we're going in that direction with all of the things there is on the physical domain?
Yes, there is much material and many new ideas now that are coming forth. And each one of you should choose what you feel comfortable with. Each one of you are different. And some may want to work with this style and some may want to work with something else. It is not important. Let me withdraw that a little bit. It is not so important what you do, but how you think about it and how you feel about it. If you feel comfortable in what you're doing, then it is almost always the right place for you. Would you, for the audience, express your question a little bit more in detail? You are thinking of the physical plane and the vibrations from the physical plane and the vibrations from the higher dimensions of light and love, are you not?
Yes. How do we discern when we are following our heart versus when we're following a subconscious pattern that we have? And
Yes, I see. You do have your physical body that you have to maintain, and you do have your work in the world that you do. And so be not concerned about that part, but keep your head high above the illusions of this world. Keep your thoughts in the right place. You have learned enough and read enough books, most of you, to know when you are going astray and when you are on the right path. When you are feeling the beauty and the joy of the Spirit, and when you are in a good mood, then you know it is coming from the higher realms. But when you feel down and you feel sad and depressed and those kind of things, then you know it's coming from the lower dimensions. This is sometimes a fine line, as Elwa says, between these two things. And this is where your growth comes in, is learning to discern the difference between that which is going with the grain of life and that which is going against the grain of life. In true reality, there is no duality. There is no good or evil. And this may be confusing to some of you who are new, but we talk about this much of the time. But you can go with the flow of life, go with the current that is moving upward into the realms of love and light, or you can wallow in the mire of self-pity and feeling sad and guilty and all the other negatives. It is up to you, and each moment, my dear ones, you do choose every thought that you think. When you start your day out with the contact with your higher self, the God within you, your teachers and your guides, and you send love ahead of you into your day, and you make a firm decision that you intend to stay on the path of light that day, no matter what happens around you or what others are doing, then you are starting your day in the right way. And if you stray from this path of light, or if you let someone influence you in a negative way, it is of no great concern. Just as soon as you are aware that you have strayed from the path of light, bring yourself back immediately, and do not even stop to scold yourself, because when you do, you see you are concentrating on the problem. Does this help your understanding?
Yes, would it be safe to say that if you were uncertain, to just have confidence that Father would be directing your life and that it would happen in spite of yourself?
The Father is always there in spite of yourself, no matter what you're doing. For everyone, every entity in the whole of the universe, you need not be concerned about this. The Father is the life force that you are, so you cannot be separated from the Father. You cannot be separated from us, for we are all one. There is only one life. And so it is like your body has trillions of cells in it, but it is one body. And each one of you are a cell, maybe, in the body of life, the whole of life. But you are one with the whole body, just as each cell in your physical body is fed by the same bloodstream. You are all fed from the heart of God's love. And it is God's love that is feeding your soul, that is feeding your spirit, that is sustaining you and maintaining the life force that flows through you. So you cannot be separated from God. Be not overly concerned, but do the best that you can at the moment, and then try to improve a little bit every day. Try to raise your consciousness a little bit every day. And if you can do this and hold on to it and build your foundation under it, a strong, solid foundation of understanding the laws of life, life eternal, then you are moving forward. Are there other questions about this particular thing?
If a person, even if wasn't sure of God, but if they just met like a scientist and said, this may be right and it may be wrong, but I'm going to assume that there is a God, and I'm going to talk to this God as I would to a person, and then I'm going to make this God my senior partner, And I believe if they did that, they would always get the right answer. I never find a wrong answer coming when I depend upon God as my senior partner. I never find that I am in the wrong path.
Yes. Everyone will have a little different point of view about how they relate to God. And we can say also how you relate to life, because life and God are the same. Love and God are the same.
And energy and God are the same.
Yes. It is all one life, and there is no division. There is no separation. This is the illusion that we talk about on these lower realms. When you think you are separated from each other and you feel lonely, there's no reason to ever feel lonely. And if you do not have any physical friends, you have many, many friends from this side of the veil. And when you know this and allow that contact to come through and allow them to impress you with their love for you, then it is a beautiful experience. Are there other questions this evening?
If a person feels there is a division, then would it be from negative feelings such as anger, rejection, that would cause a person to feel that there perhaps is a division, would it not? And also, these negative feelings would be a way a person would have of punishing oneself.
Yes. These are the illusions that we speak of. The illusions of this world keep you from your best good. And when you understand that even though you find yourself being negative and feeling separate, you can change that. You can say, no, I am one with God, even if you are angry when you say it. And you can continue to repeat it until you can say it in love. Because the Father is there with all of his angels and all of his helpers that are helping you in every way that you allow. Remember that you have free will, and we cannot and God cannot invade your free will. But when you open the door just a crack, just a little bit, to let some of the light come through, then we can come in and give you the encouragement and help you to think more positive. It is good that you have a planned program, my dear ones. It is good that you have something that you work with each day to bring your consciousness a little higher, to keep your thoughts positive and loving. If you do not, then the world most of the time will pull you down with it and drag you down into the mire of illusion and the negativity that you speak of. Did I help your understanding?
Yes, go for it.
Yes.
I'd like to tell you about a vivid lesson that I learned from a patient on that lived being only one God. She was in the hospital because she could not keep her hands off him, trying to choke her baby that she loved more than anything else on earth. Her husband was a gambler, and we owned a part in a big gambling house. And one day he just left home. He didn't tell her where he was going or anything. And while he was gone, she had a lover. And he came back, and she found out that he'd been in prison. Then she had this child by her husband that she loved more than anything else on earth. But she wished her ex-lover dead because she was afraid her husband would find out about it. And those death impulses she got into her own hands, and she could not be left alone with that child. That shows that we are one, and you cannot harm another person because you're harming yourself for the thing you love most. And that seemed very vivid lesson to me, and a good one, and that God was using her in a positive way that looked like a negative way.
Yes, there are many, many different ways, as many paths as there are individuals to God, and we go through all kinds of experiences to learn and to grow. And each time that you have a new experience, no matter whether it seems to be negative or positive, be grateful for it, my dear ones. Be grateful, for it is something that you need for your growth. You are always in your right place. You are always where your consciousness has placed you. And you attract to you the experiences that you need for your growth. So when you have an experience or you have someone in your life that is giving you a different experience, ask yourself, what is it that I am to learn from this? And be open for the answer. When you are open, you learn so much quicker. It is when you become frightened and close up that it is difficult for us to reach you. When you can turn loose of the fear, no matter what the situation is, then we can reach you. Open the door of your minds and your hearts and think of divine light and let it shine through to you. We are always there to help you. Are there other questions this evening?
When something that we look upon as negative is happening in our lives, and we do see the light, see the direction that we should go, and we do it, then that negative thing would disappear on its own then. Is that correct?
It is up to you and how you are in your thinking. We cannot have a standard answer for these things because you are all individuals. But when you raise your consciousness above this, then you are not involved with it. You have a so-called problem as you think of it, and it is a thorn in your side. And you take the thorn from your side and let the wound heal. Then you're not involved with the thorn. You have a problem. If you turn loose of the thoughts about the problem and start turning your thoughts toward the answer and concentrate on the answer, then you will find that the problem is no longer there. You see, life force follows thought. Whatever you give thought to, you give life to. And when something frightens us, some experience or something happens in our life that threatens our security, then we give thought to it in a very powerful way, because almost always there is emotion with this, negative emotion, fear emotion. And it is difficult to turn loose of this because it seems so real. But my dear ones, it is not real. Everything on this plane is an illusion. Everything here is for your growth, and everything that happens in your life is for your soul's growth. And tell yourself and realize that when you can take your thought from this so-called problem, this bad thing that you would say, and put your thought on God and God's love, and allow us that are helping God to come in to your heart and to your mind with divine light and love, then the answer is always there.
we should thank God then for every sin just as we would for every virtue, because everything that is there is meant to be there.
Everything that is there you have created. See?
But we had to have it for our understanding, did we not?
Well, in a sense, this is true. You created it, and so when you create a thing, then you have to learn to uncreate it if it is not loving, if it goes against the grain of life, if it is harming your soul's growth.
Well, lots of things that people think are wicked are not wicked. They're a part of your growth, and all life is conflict, and you just can't sit there and be just calm all the time. I mean, life is movement.
Yes, this is true. But you do not need to think of it as wicked. Think of it as experience. Think of it more in terms of experience. When you think of something as wicked, then you give power to the darkness.
But it wasn't wicked.
No. And so we do not even need to use that word, do we?
No.
It was an experience.
There isn't evil. The evil is like a nightmare, just like sickness is like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It is an illusion. And whenever we feel a lack of anything, that is an illusion, because life is abundant, everywhere present, in everything, in every way. Life is abundant in love. Life is abundant in material wealth. In everything that you need, life is abundant. And if you feel a lack, it is because you have created that lack from your thoughts.
By creating that lack, we could just as easily have created the lack not being there. Is that true?
I'm sorry, I did not
If we
understand.
created the lack ourselves. If we lack something in our lives, we created that ourselves. We could just as easily have created a fulfillment.
Yes, abundance. You could have created the abundance. It is turning from the old way and releasing the past and the habit patterns of thinking that your teacher has been talking about to you for many years keeps you earthbound when they are negative, when they are fear-filled. And you can change these. You have been given the tools to do this, and you have the ability through the power of God within you to rise above anything. But you first must give up. And this sounds incorrect when you first hear it, but you must first give up the old way and take on the new way. In other words, new beginnings. Turn loose of the past and make a new beginning, a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling, and let it be bright and shiny and loving. And tell yourself often through the day, I love you, and directing this to yourself. This is not narcissus, is the word I believe, is it not? It need not be this. It is knowing that you are God, knowing that you are divine, and talk to your body and tell it that you love it. This will enhance your body and help it to be well and to have energy and life force.
You have to do that in front of the mirror so that you make your eyes know you're telling the truth.
This is a good way. This is a good technique. But you need not have the mirror. But it is good to do this.
It keeps you from being shifted.
Yes. If this works for you, then this is good. Everyone has their own way. And there is no certain way for everyone. Everyone is an individual expression of God. And isn't it wonderful that He has created us different than anyone else?
Wouldn't it be awful if everywhere I went There was nothing but Annabelle.
It would be monotonous, to say the least.
Certainly
Yes.
would. I
Yeah.
don't think I could take it.
Yes. It is good to hear your laughter. You see how light the room shines up. You do not see it from your level, maybe, but we do. When you laugh like this and you're joyful, the light just streams forth from your countenance. And could we but show you this, we will tell you in words. And if you can use your imagination, think of this. And through this season of holidays, let your spirits be light. Do not allow yourself to be overcrowded with too many things to do, or overworked, or feel down because you do not have what you think you should have. Keep in contact with us on these realms, and keep your spirits and your heart joyful and light. It is a beautiful season. It is new beginnings, and is a new birth. Let the Christ Spirit be born within you every morning when you awaken. Think of the Christ child within you coming forth and expressing itself through your eyes and through your mouth, through your words, and through your feelings, and to everyone that you meet. When you can think in this way, then everything is beautiful and everything works out for you in the way that is good for your growth. Are there other questions this evening?
I have one. Could you
Speak louder, please.
Could you explain a little bit on the the different planes that you were talking about earlier, as far as the light?
Yes.
And the fineness or something like that?
The vibrations are different on each plane, and each plane has its own laws. Your physical plane is a conglomeration, you might say, of a lot of entities from many different planes that have come into the physical to grow and to learn different things, and each one an individual thing for them. Just above the physical, or intermeshed with the physical, are the planes of darkness. These are planes that have entities who have misunderstandings about life. They are not really evil in the truest sense of evil. There are a few maybe who have chosen to stay there because they enjoy that type of existence for a while, but each one of those will at some time be drawn up into the light. And above this is what you think of as the astral realms, and it becomes lighter as you move upward into each realm. And I'm giving these names that your teacher has taught you. We do not think of them in exactly this way, but for your language it is the best. And then comes the mental realms, and then the spiritual realms. And they go on up to the throne of God, into the heart of God. Yes, and each one is higher in vibration. They are finer in whatever word you would use, and each one has more light as you go upward. And when your consciousness is not in a high enough place, you cannot stand the vibrations if you try to move into a higher dimension. And so, as you say, water seeks its own level, your consciousness seeks its own level. Whenever you go to sleep at night, you leave your body and are manifesting on these dimensions. And when you go through the experience you call death and graduate from this dimension, you automatically gravitate to the dimension that you are vibrating at, your level of consciousness, where you are comfortable and where there are others around you that have like thinking and are compared in likeness to you. Does this help your understanding?
Yeah, it does.
Did you have more
I
specific?
have one more question. Will you mention the word planet? Do you mean it like the planets or like stranded, or is that even relevant, like on space?
Let us think of planets. I am going along with what your teacher is teaching you, and so I am channeling through him and what he is teaching you. And other teachers teach a little different thing. In a sense, the planets and dimensions are the same, but in the way that Donald teaches you, the planets are the physical realm. And there are many, many planets that are very high in consciousness, so high that even though the entities are in a physical body, your eyes could not see them. And there are other planets who are lower in vibration than your planet.
You told us that our planet was once a human being. Have we ever, anybody in this group, ever been a planet?
This is a misunderstanding, Annabelle. I did not say a human being. I said each planet is a living entity, even as you are, not a human being.
Well, will we be entities like a planet eventually?
You may, if you choose to do this.
Has anybody here been one?
Let us not be going in this direction. It is like giving a reading, and it is not appropriate, is maybe the right word, according to Donald's thinking, to go too far in this direction.
I'm sorry.
You are a child of the universe, and when your consciousness is in the right way, you can experience whatever you choose to experience. The Father has given you the freedom to roam the universe, but you have to have the consciousness to move into these different things. And if your consciousness is in the right way and you choose to give life force to a planet, a newborn planet, that will house entities like this planet is, then this could be a possibility for you. But it is not in everyone's future.
Thank you.
Yes.
You mentioned that when we graduate from the physical, we go to the plane whose vibrations we are attuned to.
Yes.
Is that then what brings about that? Is our vibrations are changing?
No, you make a contract before you are born to come into the physical and stay for a certain length of time. You choose the day that you were born and the day that you will graduate, in a general sense. Now, this is not always exact, and it can be changed in certain things. It is not, for most it is, this is true, but it can be changed. When you you come into the physical to learn and to grow, You come into the physical because you still have some desires for the physical plane. And these desires for the physical draw you back into a physical body, or you have accumulated what you think of as karma, and you need these experiences to eliminate this karma. And karma is just another way of saying a misunderstanding about the laws of life.
Then understanding the laws of life eliminates karma.
Yes. And as I said, each dimension has its laws. And when you understand the laws of this dimension, and as the master teacher said, I have overcome the world, meant that he had learned all of the laws and was master of them. And then when you do this, then you move up to the another dimension.
But if one lives an especially enjoyable lifetime, wouldn't that entice one to choose to come back to Earth if possible? Back to the physical life.
Yes, you can choose to come back even if you have eliminated your karma from this plane to serve, and many do. They come back to, there are those who have loved ones that are still enmeshed in the planes of illusion, and they do not want to go off and leave them, and they do come back to help them and to raise the consciousness of the whole of this planet.
Are masters all perfect all the way through? Can't you be a master if you're just a little teeny weeny, not quite perfect?
Annabelle, let me explain your word. Your language is so confusing. The word perfect has many meanings to many different people. And the way that most people use the word perfect in your language is that you have arrived and there is no place else to go. There is no such thing in the universe. Even God is growing and through his creations. When you become master of this plane, then you move up and start all over in the second grade, you might say.
But to be master, you've got to be pretty close to knowing everything here.
Yes, knowing everything on this plane, being master of this plane. And each dimension is different. Each dimension has its own lessons and has its own laws. One of the laws of your physical dimension is gravity, is it not?
Yes.
And when you learn to levitate, then you have overcome that particular thing on this dimension.
We've got to do that before we get off of this dimension?
You don't got to do it. You have the choice to do it, my dear one. You see, do not be so specific in these things. Love is the key to all things. When you learn the law of love, then you are free of the illusions of this plane.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you saying then that perfection is the end of growth? There's no more growth.
There is no such thing as the end of growth.
Then there could be no such thing as perfection.
That's correct, in the way that you use the word.
I see.
Yes. That is a misnomer, as you would say. It is not a true word. Just as death is not a true word. There's no death. Are there other questions this evening? In these beautiful holidays, allow yourself to make a new beginning in this coming year, and allow yourself to have the privilege of releasing the past. Turn loose of all of 1989, 88, 87, and so on back. Release all of that and make a new beginning with a bright, shiny countenance and a heart full of love. And allow yourself to move forward a little bit each day and allow us to help you. My dear ones, if you could do this one thing to allow God to help you through his many workers, you would be far upon the path. But you forget, and you allow the fear to come in, and you get so involved with your physical things that you do that you forget about us on these other dimensions and the spiritual lessons that you have learned. If you could start your day in the right way and then renew it often through the day, remembering who you truly are, that you are a spiritual being, that you're a being made from divine love, and know this in the deepest part of yourself, and allow divine light to shine forth before you, it would be so much easier for you in your sojourn on this plane of illusion. It has been a blessed privilege to be with you, and many, many are here from this side of the veil who want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And many who have recently come from the physical are here and sitting in on your circle and wanting to share in your love and your light. And all of your teachers are here, and keep your spirits high. Keep the love flowing through you, and let your light shine brightly. God bless you, and good evening.
Merry Christmas to all of them.
Shall we stand and hold hands? Let us think of ourselves coming together in the physical as we have been in spirit. And let us include in our circle of light all of our patrons and guides, and all of those who come from the other side of the veil. So let us include all on the physical plane in our circle of light, and feel God's love going around this circle and building up momentum and filling this room and spreading out over the city and covering this planet, and feel it and see it going out to the whole universe, where we are all one in life. Let us remember that through this beautiful season of holy days. Thank you, Father.
I will. I will take. But I wish everybody would talk out of one soul, so that's why I didn't pick right on. People should be watching.
How are you, son?
How are you doing?
Same to you. No, they didn't have to be here. They read this one and party with the people. And out there, sure. See the blue bears. They got some cutting inside. I don't know. Sorry.
Sure, Christmas.
Oh, it's funny. And they come back. So,
Yep, I could grab.
lights.
Merry Christmas.
About 20
New old adventure. Yeah, so yeah. He's the new chef.
Tom? Don't know anything. I lost my
You can't put your Thank you, Mr. Yeah, sure did. Because we're one of the war. Hold on. I know it's supposed to be not about I'm like, yeah, we had two chemicals like that. I wish they don't. It's very one of your around is now you didn't have a kiss easy. At least I did. Yeah. You see, Merry Christmas. I wish all of you got Christmas good. Oh, you at least time we thought. Oh, you read the streets. Come again.
Oh, yeah. You're right in Odyssey.
Another sweet, yeah. Yeah, someday I'm gonna take a list of everybody's names so I can we have a few, yeah. Let's see what takes time. Yeah.
I would say that usually this is all true people theories.
I think so.
New beginnings and trust. What's that kind of thing?
It's like I'm not going down this crossing. The English in the way you so these energies make everybody sign in and make it get legislated.
Oh yeah, you know with us. He is just really a little physical.
Oh, but I think I like you over. I was going over that when she had the first time.
81.
No snow. You walk with her.
You know, she was also real pretty. You know? Oh yeah. Which I yeah, lead a serious usually go.
What is that? I'm not. Well, I did. Did you sleep in Robin Green there? Next. All right. Oh, well, thank you.
No, nothing but a saint you are.
Yeah, I know. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And has seated
Oh, yeah.